place where you can come and be yourself. It give you the opportunity to be different. You know, the ambiance, the setting is inviting, and I feel like being here is like home. You know, you feel comfortable being in a zone.
As an entrepreneur, I started a company previously, and one of the biggest challenges that I had in building that company was finding affordable office space. Perfect Office Solutions is an organization that caters to entrepreneurs. We provide affordable, professional, and flexible workspace for entrepreneurs.
You have so much responsibility on you and so many regulations and different things that normally falls on the owner of, say for instance, a suite. And again, Perfect Office, all of those things are already taken care of.
Perfect Office has helped me grow my business by having me be a part of a bigger team of all the tenants here.
Perfect Office has provided me with a space, I would consider it a jewel that may be hidden in the midst of Laurel, Maryland.
It actually helped entrepreneurs to grow business because sometimes we can't get big buildings or corporate office.
Most people might say entrepreneurship is dead, but it's not dead. Entrepreneurs just need a community where they can call home. And Perfect Office, we understand that.
Perfect Office is it.
Perfect Office is wonderful.
Perfect Office is amazing.
Perfect Office is
Perfect.
Welcome everybody to Fashion Victuals Radio right here on ripradionetwork.com. Welcome everyone. It's Hump Wednesday. As you can see, there is a certain somebody to the right of me. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you? That's the question.
I've had better days. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chiko, the Dream Chaser.
That's right.
Now, what you all don't know is he'll actually be sitting on this show with me all night.
That's right.
Okay. So we're going to get into the one-on-one interview with him, of course, and I will tell you his little backstory when we do the interview, but he is the owner of maybe a few businesses. I think I got it right, about 3 right now, but
few, yes.
All of them are like, we'll get into that. But thank you, Brian, for being my saving grace. I have to tell you all, like, I don't know how I can run this show without Brian. I promise you, because he is the glue to this whole thing, and I really appreciate him.
Buttons.
You do more than push buttons.
Push buttons is important.
It is, but he does more than push buttons. He does way more than push buttons. Oh my gosh. So today is Wednesday, and it is Hump Wednesday, and everybody, I hope that you all are getting through the hump of the traffic and whatever else is going on this week with you. I know we're just getting over our Thanksgiving break. How was your Thanksgiving break, sir?
My Thanksgiving was amazing.
Okay.
Got a chance to spend it with family.
That's good.
Ate way too much.
I think we all did.
Yeah. And then I passed out on the couch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Woo, that's a good Thanksgiving. That is a good Thanksgiving.
How was yours?
It was good. I cooked. It seems that that's tradition every year that I don't cook the entire meal, but it's kind of like a collective effort.
Okay.
But this year I was kind of a little more special than usual because I got to cook with both my sisters. So normally it's like me, my sisters, my grandmother, my mother.
Right.
Like everybody kind of puts a hand in the food, but this year was just us 3.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that you know how to cook.
Oh, yeah. I burns in the kitchen now. I burns in the kitchen. I'm a multicultural cook at that.
That's a skill I need to learn. I don't, yeah.
It's not one of your strong
I'd rather
suits.
just press a button and order.
Oh, no. You got to know how to cook. You got to know how to cook. I love cooking. I mean, I can cook Indian, Mexican, Italian, Chinese, American.
Right.
What is American? That I've never got. What do
you mean?
American cooking.
Cheeseburger, French fries.
Exactly. What we're cultural to, you know.
Well, you don't think the French and the Germans and the Russians made this before we did?
Look, later I do want to learn how to cook French cuisine. I do. And there's other dishes that I want to learn how to cook. I do want to learn how to make jollof rice.
Oh, yes.
I do. Like it seems like that's a big hit. For
West African is
yes.
Jollof rice is a staple.
There you go. See?
Yep.
That's why I want to learn how to cook it. And then Jamaican food. Like I'm good with Jamaican food. I'm good with certain Jamaican dishes. Like my oxtails are
I love oxtails.
Oh my God.
And curry goat.
Oh, see now I got to challenge around. I got to make some curry goat now. Oh, let me just mention this. So this sweatshirt that I have on,
Okay.
it's called, I don't know if everybody can see it. It's called Make Men Masculine Again. And it's a clothing line that has started with my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Chester. The purpose behind this clothing line is to show that there are still men in this world who are men and who stand up for their woman, who's a provider, who's a father, who's an uncle, who's a cousin, who's a brother, and they do the right things. So I told him that I would proudly wear this shirt, but my reasons are not the same as his.
Right.
Brian knows this. But
what are your reasons?
That I feel like Brian, this is my rant, okay?
Already?
I know, right? So my reasons is because there are a lot of men who have steered away from being real men, especially with relationships and dating and things of that nature. And that's the reason why I'm wearing this shirt, because I think that we need to bring back that old school feeling of how it is to really date someone instead of like multiple date or not know what chivalry is, because I'm really old school. I know I'm like young and cute, but but the thing is,
you are.
Thank you, but I do believe in chivalry.
Okay.
You know, so some of the things that I say is like, you know, I like my car door open. I like you to like court me the right way.
Right.
And I noticed that in this area, I'm not going to say all areas, but I know because my experience in this area, of course, it's become that thing where it's like people are either ghosting you and you go out maybe 1 or 2 times and you never hear from that person again. Like, I really don't get that. Like, I never understood that. So it's like that's what I think, what make men masculine again means to me. So,
but you know, once you bring that good part back, according to you, you're probably going to bring back also the negative parts, which is like, you know,
what's the negative parts?
You know, how women were supposed to be or are supposed to be back in the day.
So honestly, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
To a certain degree, of course. You know, I think the man is the king of the household and the woman is still a queen.
Okay.
If your man provides and protects, then let him do that. You know, don't always try to wear the pants. Like, I am a firm believer in that. Like, okay, you can have your independence, but when it comes to a relationship, let that man lead. Let him take over. But as long as he can lead you in the right direction, there should be no issue.
I mean,
go ahead, Chiko.
I mean, the thing is, what you're saying makes sense if you can find a partner that believes
absolutely
in the same, you know, or has the same mindset.
So,
but then if you have a partner that's thinking differently, then it's probably.
But then that comes back to how the person was raised or what he was accustomed to in his past relationship. Whether that woman let him get away with those things or not. Like, I'm not gonna let you get away with nothing. Like, I'm gonna speak my mind. So that's what my issue is. But then some men respect it because, like, you know, if you feel that way, okay, then that's what I'll do. You know. So, yes, Brian.
Well, I'm going to pull the reins on this because
pull my chain.
Well, we can bring this back later because, again, the full throttle of Editorial Shade will come up again because of the topic.
Will
come up again with the topic that I think kind of connects to what you're trying to talk about. So, but again, coming up is, of course, Fashion Victual News, and I got a ton of, since we've gone for a couple weeks, so it's
we got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, so and pretty much a bulk of it will be your favorite restaurant guide, the Michelin guide, because there's 3 stories bulked into there.
Oh, really?
About it's some are good, some are bad.
Oh boy,
and one's pretty shady.
Oh, you know I love a good Michelin story.
Yeah, so that's what's going to happen next.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, tell you what, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump right into Fashion Victuals News. Fashion Victual News. Oh my God, I can't talk again today. Right here on RipRadioNetwork.com. Welcome back, everybody, to Fashion Victual Radio, right here on RadioNetwork.com.
It's been that kind of day.
Oh my God, yes. When you're in the corporate world and you have to facilitate or lead certain meetings, and you've talked all day,
Right.
it's kind of hard to sit in front of a camera at this point after you've talked all day and talk to people. But I love it. It's just my words don't always come out correctly when I do it. That's all.
I can understand. Except for the being in the corporate world.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know you don't. You're not in the corporate world.
I don't.
You in your own lane.
I don't have a.
That's what it is. You in your own lane.
Yeah.
You are corporate.
Oh, true. All right. Yes, I'm back. Yes, folks, I had to do some technical things behind here. So, but yes,
Thanks,
we are.
Brian.
Yes, this is.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. This is Fashion Victuals News, brought to you by. Yes, we have a brought to you by.
I know.
That's a rarity. Brought to you by Jazz Bossy Skincare. This lovely lady's got some nice skincare line, which we'll feature down the line on the show. But yes,
absolutely.
So this again, Jazzy Boss Skincare, is our little tidbit sponsor for Fashion Victuals News. Which again, like I said, we got tons of since we've been gone for a bit. Forever. And it's more global this time too. We're gonna start.
Are we on a global scale?
Yeah, this is a global scale. We'll start from Germany and end in Germany.
Okay.
And speaking of Germany, this past Saturday, the German-based airlines Lufthansa was
you and
fined.
These airlines, Brian. I don't know how you find these stories.
Hey, it happens. Was fined over $6.4 million by the FAA for illegal flights from Frankfurt to Philadelphia between the months of October 2018 and April of this year. Also, they did this twice in two different places. From Frankfurt to San Diego between March of last year and May of this year. For some dumb reason, so the FAA alleged that the airline operated flights into and out of these airports without their authorization required to do so. Foreign airlines can only conduct scheduled flights into and out of airports that are listed in their FAA issued operation specifications. And surprising enough, Lufthansa didn't have that happen.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they got to pay a fine for doing some flight club.
Well, how do you find these stories about people's flights? Remember, there was another flight story that you did because the airline was going out of business, and when they closed shop, like, people were actually stranded.
Yeah, couple of them. I mean, like I said,
over like 350,000 people were actually stranded because these airlines had shut down
because of whatever is going on with the airlines. I mean, they're like I said, bankrupting or doing stupid shit like this. So it's like, what?
Oh my God.
So,
okay.
I mean, but the thing that stands out to me is like if somebody's being fined $6 million, in my mind, I'm just trying to figure out how much are they making. If that's if $6 million is the fine, that means they're making a lot.
Well, I mean,
yes, absolutely.
You got to know Lufthansa is a very popular airline internationally.
Okay.
So for them to be doing this, and it's kind of like, okay, what are you guys doing? I mean, I don't understand why you're breaking the rules. I mean, you're a well-known company. If it's like if this was British Airways, trust me, heads will roll. So, but mind you, this airline, I'm not saying it's small potatoes, but still, it's like it's a known company. It's a known airline. But
I get it.
All right, now this is your favorites part. This is the Michelin 3-star storyline.
You know I love a good restaurant, Brian.
Yes, and you'll love these restaurants. Trust me. Okay, in the upcoming Michelin guide for this city, Tokyo.
Oh, Tokyo.
It will feature... You'll be surprised this. We will feature 226 Michelin-starred restaurants. That is the most decorative for any Michelin-guided city. Surprisingly enough, it is a drop of 234 they had last year. So pretty much it's like, oh, we still maintain. Okay.
They had 234 Michelin star restaurants in 2019 alone.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, it's hard to get that.
Oh, yes, it is.
You never heard the
Really?
Michelin?
I don't
Oh,
know. I mean, I just
I know.
I just go to whatever restaurant.
So, you want me to give the history?
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
because I've done this already. So, the history behind the Michelin star is actually the Michelin tire company.
Okay.
Back in the 50s, people would do road trips and stuff, and they would have issues and troubles finding somewhere to eat.
Okay.
So Michelin started putting out this roadmap magazine that actually kind of catered towards different restaurants in the areas that they were in, which turned into this broad thing called Michelin star. So to earn a Michelin star, like you have to be of the pristine to get a Michelin star. That's how your restaurant has to be. It takes a lot to get a Michelin star as far as any restaurant. So if you can get more than 2 Michelin stars, you're good as gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really hard to get a Michelin star.
Okay, so maybe I should start looking up places to eat by Michelin stars.
There you go.
I just learned something new today.
Well, luckily enough, going back to Tokyo in their edition, they have now 20 new 1-star restaurants and
Only
3 new
1
2-star restaurants.
Okay.
And
What's a good rating? Like
the
3
best
star?
rating is 3.
Oh, okay.
You only get 3. 3 is the
Okay.
max.
Because
So-
every year they pick certain restaurants to get 1 Michelin star.
Okay.
So if you're able to carry that into the next year and the following year, if you can get 3
Oh, so
Michelin
like
stars.
So 3 years in a you have to be good 3 years in a row to have 3 stars.
You don't, not necessarily in a row, but you can like skip a year and maybe you'll get that Michelin star back because you may have changed some things within your menu at the restaurant. And then you can earn your second Michelin
Got it.
star. But your Michelin star can be taken as well.
Ooh.
Exactly.
which we would get to a little later. But this restaurant got an upgrade. So they
Okay.
went from a 2
went
to a
from a
3. This star is Kawadi Restaurant was upgraded from their 2-star from last year to a 3-star. They officially, with this upgrade, they became the 11th 3-star restaurants in this guide. It's down from two restaurants in Tokyo. That last year they had 13 total 3-star restaurants.
Wow.
Because of the reason due to the fact of these restaurants had a lot of reservations, or maybe they had too many people coming in.
Oh wow.
That's always good though.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
That's always good.
Well, sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. But for this upcoming story, this is story number 2. This could be a little bit up and a very good thing. So this restaurant, Sukabashi Jiro, Shibashi Jiro decided to say, hey, Michelin decided to drop them out of their guide.
That's it right there.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
it.
that's the restaurant.
Yeah, they decided to. The Michelin guy has decided to drop them out of their guide.
See what I'm saying?
So, but
you
here's-
can lose.
See.
You can lose the Michelin
Yes.
star too.
So this restaurant, this sushi restaurant, was featured in a documentary, which made the chef Jiro Ono an international success.
He looks a little like he should retire.
True, but actually
A little
bit. But this guy,
He's been going for this Michelin star for his
But
whole
I
life.
know, right?
well, the documentary wasn't the only reason why it was successful. It was also had the most famous guest of all time,
Barack Obama.
Yes, and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe ate in their restaurant.
Yeah, I knew that.
Back in 2014. So pretty much.
That name was definitely butchered.
Right. So pretty much, as of right now, the restaurant, by dropping it wasn't due to poor service at all. It was just due to the fact that since it was so difficult to get in, Michelin decided to sort of like, hey, you already got success, you already got stars, we'll just take you off.
Right.
It may be temporary, we'll see, but as of right now, they've decided to just take him out of the guide,
Gotcha.
and because they are well known as well. But this final story about the Michelin star, the third Michelin star story, this is where you kind of figured it's like, hey, you're a success, you're in the book, and all that stuff. But I didn't want it.
What?
Here's
Somebody
why.
didn't want to be in the Michelin guide?
Here's why. Okay.
Why
to any chef,
not?
like I said, to any chef, a Michelin star is the holy grail.
Right.
Of
All right?
course.
But to this South African chef, Young-gong,
South African food is really good. Just
South African or South Korean?
no, South African.
African.
Okay, of course.
You said South African.
No, I said South Korean.
Did he say
He's
South
a South
African? Did he say
Korean.
South African?
Oh, he's definitely.
He's South Korean.
I mean, I'm looking at him, but I thought
You had a lot.
He looks
Calm
good.
down. You got drink your tea. Anyway, he decided that he wanted to pass on this, but it looks like
no.
he'll have to settle this in court.
What?
Yes. Okay.
Hold up. He's forced to get that?
Here's why. Let me explain. All right. 2 weeks
when I
ago.
tell you it's very pristine.
Yes.
It's
2
very
weeks-
pristine.
Very pristine. 2 weeks ago, Chef E.O. posted on his Facebook page that he did not want to be on the Michelin Guide. So he's pretty much
OMG.
stated that he's suing the company.
Oh, wow.
He's
for
suing
giving him
Michelin?
for giving him that star.
How do you not want a Michelin star as a chef?
Here's his complaint.
I
I don't know why, but
understand.
here's his complaint. He says this, quote, I have filed a criminal complaint against Michelin's guide's behavior of forcibly listing, quote unquote, restaurants against their will and without a clear criteria.
The criteria seems pretty precise to me.
What is
It
the
seems
criteria?
that way. Well, here's the thing.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, well,
Go ahead. I'll let him do it, and then I'm gonna tell you what the criteria is.
Okay, so clear criteria. Now, in South Korea, I said South Africa again. Thanks to you, South Korea.
You said it at first.
I know. So
That's
in
how
South
I wouldn't have
Korea,
said
a
it if you
person
didn't
can
say it.
sue someone for public insult, but
Insult. But
Yeah,
that's not an insult, though.
yeah, it's not an insult. That's right. So, but he felt that, a criminal attorney, Shin Hana, stated that the charges will not
Wow.
stick because there needs to be an insulting statement that would cut down one's social standing.
Right.
And since the
One.
guy didn't print any profanity and didn't think it stand, so he didn't think it would stand. Now, if possible,
Okay.
if Michelin is found guilty of this, Chef E.O. would be paid either 500 to 3 billion Korean won,
Which is
which is an equivalent of just $420 to $2,500.
This, you know what this is? This is a marketing stunt.
More or
think
less,
so?
you can
Yes,
say that. You can
'cause,
say
I mean,
that.
Why go through the struggle?
Exactly.
$400.
But
I agree.
But here's, like I said
it's
before,
marketing.
but like you said earlier, there was a Michelin star taken away because currently, as of right now, Marc Verrant, a very famous French chef, his star was taken away, and he's suing the Michelin Guide.
he's suing them too.
Yeah, remember I told you he's suing them. We were supposed to get a verdict by last month, but we haven't got an announcement
it was
yet.
the last Michelin story.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so pretty much, yeah. So yes, a lot of drama with the Michelin Guide this last few weeks, so to speak. So
Well, I mean, the Michelin Guide and to earn the star to be within the Michelin Guide it's a lot of credibility behind it.
Is it based on taste? Is it based
Yes.
It's based on
is it based on
taste.
cleanliness of the restaurant?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay.
You know, and it's just like your taste. It's how can I say this? Like, you know how, okay, so one of my favorite restaurants is Del Frisco's.
Okay. I like Del Frisco's.
That's like one of my favorite steakhouses.
I love their lamb, that big old lamb.
They
I
got
forget
a
the
big
name.
lamb? I had lamb chops when I was there. I had lamb
chop.
chops.
But it's like huge.
It's like 6 of them because they do, the way I do it is the lollipop style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it is a big lamb. Yeah, you know, that's a good restaurant. I love that place. So anyway, so on, like, if you Yelp them or if you go on, what are some other places like Google and stuff?
Yep.
You know how they have like 4 or 5 star,
ratings
cool,
and stuff like that.
right? But to go beyond that, to go beyond being that level of 4 or 5 star, you just have to kind of like be more creative in the taste of your food and the presentation of your food.
Of it, right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Del Frisco's is a pretty expensive place to eat.
Yes, it is.
You know, like the most expensive steak on that menu is like, I think $130.
no, thank you.
And it's the
Exactly.
tomahawk. It's the tomahawk steak.
Yeah. Oh, is that the
It's the huge one. It's like,
with the bone on it?
Yes.
Yes, that's the one I got.
yes, that's the tomahawk.
You know, because I was like, I mean, if I'm gonna go here for the first time, I might as well go big.
You did go big. Shit. I don't go there.
But I said I'm not going back.
I
I said I'm not going back there again for a while.
But you know what? It's actually. But the thing is, in this area, they have like Del Frisco's Grill, but Del Frisco's Double Eagle is the one where you get the really good cut of steak, like the tomahawk, like the porterhouse, like the lamb chops. And then they also have other seafood dishes there too. But in order to be on that pristine level, as far as to get that Michelin guide, in the Michelin guide to get that Michelin star, like you have to be serving up something that is just out of this world or way more creative than the usual. Because Del Frisco's falls under the line of like Morton's, Ruth Chris.
Right.
You know, it's just an average steakhouse,
Right.
but you have to like elevate. And
the
that's
next level in order to be able
there
to
you
get
go.
this. Okay, all right, that makes sense. So if you want to go out on a nice date, you want to go for the.
I mean, a
Michelin?
nice date, Del Frisco's. But if that person is like a foodie,
Okay.
like I'm a big foodie,
Right.
but like there are a lot of women who may not be into food. Hell, some women don't even know what Del Frisco's is.
You don't want to know what a tomahawk steak is.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's just, you know, it depends on that person's stature. And it's not to say that they're this high profile
Right,
person, but it's to show that they're educated on what they do, on the food culture and how it's observed and how they're using it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anywho. All right. Well, let's go back to Germany.
We're going back to Germany?
Back to Germany. There's a reason why. Last week, at the Dresden Castle in Germany, 2 thieves were able to steal $1 billion worth of jewelry. As you can see here, $1 billion worth of jewelry.
Okay, I need more details. Like how many pieces of
As
jewelry?
you can see here in the surveillance video that the police released to try to find the criminals, but the caretakers at the Dresden Castle believes that the jewelry will be lost forever because trying to sell them will be impossible because they can be traced. So likely the thieves will keep them in the underworld forever. Worse, break them up and melt them down and sell them off later as something else. So, yeah.
That's crazy, but $2 billion worth of jewelry?
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Well, there's one big jewel that is right now on display in New York. So that's one of their, at least one notable fame. But I don't know. These guys, they just came in like gangbusters. Like I quoted this story
they probably don't know the value of what they
they
stole.
know.
Oh, they do know.
They probably know.
I mean, what?
But they do know that they got to know that they can't do much with it, though.
Or, you know, at what point do you stop? I mean, like, why did you go for $2 billion instead of just?
They probably just
500
went through
million?
the case, slammed the case, and just grabbed what they
All these
could.
jewelries that are being displayed right now, those were taken.
Oh wow,
All of them.
that's some nice pieces too.
Yeah. So
They're gorgeous.
So yeah, they took a lot out of that stuff. So yeah.
Wow.
But that is Factual Victual News brought to you by Jazzy Bossy Skincare.
Thank you, Brian. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to get into my rant for the evening. Right here at Fashion Victual.
Well, don't you save the rant? We got a guest here.
Okay, I can do that. I can save my rant.
Yeah, save
and then
the
he can rant with me after.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Right here on Fashion Victuals Radio. Welcome back to Fashion Victuals Radio right here on ripradionetwork.com. Now, as you can see, I have a special guest that's been hanging out with me for the first half of the show.
That's right.
Mr. Chiko, the Dream Chaser.
That's his name.
All right. So now what you all don't know is the reason why I invited this man to the show. It's a little backstory to it.
Okay.
So, and I think I told you what the backstory was on how I even started following you and everything.
Okay.
So, my aunt was following you first. She's
Shout out, Aunt. What's her name?
her name is Arnisha. I think she's online right now.
Hey, Aunt
Arnisha.
I've never even met her.
I know, but she follows you.
Okay.
And I don't even know how she started following you.
Okay.
But then I told you that she told my mom about what you were doing and how positive you were and how influential you were. And then my mom started following you.
Oh wow.
Yes. I know,
Okay,
right?
Okay.
So mom's in Mexico right now, but
Hey, Mom.
and then she was telling me what you were doing. Like literally, my mom DM'd me one of your Instagram postings, and I'm like, okay, it seems cool, so let me follow him.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I started following, and I was just like, yo, he's like doing some incredible things. So what people don't know is this gentleman right here quit his job at the age of 26 with $1,000 in his pocket and started his own business.
That's right.
Called Perfect. Is it Perfect?
Staffing.
There you go.
The first one.
The very first one is Perfect Staffing. And currently you have how many?
So currently 3 different businesses.
There you go.
And well, you want me to dive into it?
Go ahead, just dive right in.
I mean, feel free to just, like if you got questions. Or
I got a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm going to ask the same questions I was asking you on Friday.
Perfect. So, I mean, like the cool thing about it actually is yesterday, December 3rd, about 7 years ago is when I quit my job.
I saw the text.
So it's pretty cool to be here with you. And actually tomorrow, 7 years ago is when I started my first company, Perfect Staffing.
See?
So started that as a staffing agency. I started that because that's what I used to be a recruiter for a staffing company.
Okay.
So I started with what I knew, and then just kind of worked that company and built it to $1 million company in 2 years. And then wanted to start a different company that kind of catered more to entrepreneurs to solve some issues or some problems that entrepreneurs were having.
Right.
And one of the problems that I identified was entrepreneurs had a lot of overhead, office space. It was unaffordable.
Right.
So I started Perfect Office to provide affordable, flexible, and professional office space for entrepreneurs.
Right.
And today we have 7 locations. Our 8th location is about to open up in Baltimore, and over 500 private offices for entrepreneurs, and
That's
over
crazy.
800 entrepreneurs part of our network. And then the 3rd company is a property management company called Perfect Properties.
There you go. I was kind of Google that last night because I was like, let me get all my info together because I wanted to put all the websites on our website so that people can link to it. So I couldn't figure out the name of the last one.
So this Perfect Staffing.
It's Perfect Staffing, Perfect Office,
Perfect Property.
There you go.
So staffing, office, property.
There you go.
Very easy.
All of them kind of go together, you know that, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was the goal, to just kind of put them all together, and then they kind of help each other in a way. But all together, I mean, between all the companies, we have about 50 employees, 100 customers, hundreds of customers, and over close to $5 million in business annual revenue.
See. And look how much time it took him. Now, again, he's in his 7th year of business.
7th year business.
And you quit when you were 26 years old.
26.
So y'all do the math.
Do the math.
Y'all do the math.
First person to get it right. What did they get?
You get something.
You get a smile.
So what at the age of 26, because a lot of people who are young really don't think about entrepreneurship. So what at the age of 26 was telling you, you know what, let me just do my own thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it started before then. Society teaches us to go to school, get good grades, graduate, and then get a good job.
Yep.
And for the longest time, I thought that's what I needed to do to be successful, right? And so I applied myself in that area because, when I was growing up, we didn't always have everything. My dad passed away when I was younger. My mom was left with us, so she's a single mom with 5 kids.
Wow.
4 of them being boys, so we could eat. So she, so we went through some rough time.
Gotcha.
And so my passion for wanting to be successful, so that way we didn't have to go through moments where we didn't have water or heat or food. So I was very motivated by that. So I put my school first because of go to school, get good grades, graduate, and then get a good job. So I graduated with a 4.0. I had a 4.0 all 16 quarters of high school.
Okay.
Got the Bill Gates scholarship to go to whatever school I wanted to go to.
That's awesome.
I went to Towson. Thank you. Graduated with honors, and then I got a job working as a recruiter for a large staffing agency, and that's when, after a year of working the job, I bought some cool toys. Like I bought a car and I bought a penthouse condo, but at the same time, I was like, hold up. I'm still not making ends meet. Is this what life's all about? I thought I was supposed to be successful by now.
Right.
So I started looking for other ways. You know, I started reading about entrepreneurs or reading about businesses or reading about people who I thought were successful. And then I started making my plan. I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to figure out a way not to depend on my active income, which is me trading hours for dollars, and figure out a way to have dollars working for me. So, you know, so I started tutoring, invested in the stock market, and doing some other stuff that helped me to be able to generate some income outside of my job. And then when I could do that, I did that for about a period of 12 months, and then I had the confidence that I needed to be able to walk into my boss and just let him know, hey, you know what? I appreciate the opportunity. But you can go ahead and give that.
But here's this 2 weeks notice. Actually, this is immediate.
Yes, immediate. I was just like, today's my last day.
Were you scared?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Actually, when I left the building, I was like, oh, what did I just do? You know, and a lot of times people ask me that question, were you scared? I was scared. But in the midst of fear, still move forward.
Right.
Yeah, because you're going to always come across moments that you're afraid or you're not too sure.
Right.
After you made a decision that you've been wanting to make for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah, but you just got to follow it through. So I was scared. I was a little nervous, but you know, I just moved forward anyway and just believed and had faith that the decision I was making was the right decision.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know everything then, but along the way of me being an entrepreneur full time, a lot of things I figured out along the way.
Gotcha.
Right.
So since you said you have a big family, even though you were raised by a single mom mostly, what did your family say when you made this decision to kind of walk away from the corporate world into your own world?
I mean, family, friends, everybody thought I was crazy. I mean, I'm 26 years old. This is the time that most of us are like, you know, growing into ourselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Buying stuff and getting settled at their jobs and learning new stuff and trying to climb that corporate ladder. But the way I figured it is, if I don't make the decision now, I'm going to get too comfortable and never make the decision.
That's true. That is very true.
Right.
So
it was tough because while everybody was out having fun at 26, I'm in the office trying to make phone calls and trying to build a business, which is a little bit different.
It's a little more different, and it's a little more difficult,
It is.
Especially at a young age. You want to kind of party. You graduated with honors, so you had a really great job, and then all of a sudden you just wanted to kind of put that corporate world behind you and just move forward with your own. So with that being said, with perfect staffing,
yes,
being that you were already in the recruiting realm, do you think that it was kind of hard for you to move into that area based on the fact that you were going solo instead of being under an umbrella of most recruiting companies today?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like if you even Google right now and you just type in, what does it take to start a staffing company? It's going to quote you need at least $250,000.
My goodness, really?
Or $300,000 because the way it works is, you have to staff your employees out. It's almost like you're lending your employees out to be used, but you have to pay them before you ever get paid by the client. So you do have to have some funds.
Right.
So when I was leaving my job, I only had $1,000 in the bank account. Then the following week, I had signed this office lease for $750. So now I'm down to $250.
Oh my God!
And I haven't even bought office supplies. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, but the way I kind of made it work was I was my first employee. I staffed myself out to different contracts.
Okay.
And didn't pay myself. And then as I started getting that money, then I would hire other folks and be able to pay them from my money.
Right.
And then just kind of scale that up a little bit.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, I believe that as an entrepreneur, if you're creative and really believe in the direction that you're headed, you're gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna find a way to figure it out.
So now that you have perfect staffing,
right?
When you recruited your first, not yourself, but the first person outside of yourself.
Oh yeah, I still remember her name, Marilyn. My first employee. I got in the office, not like a temp that I staffed out, but my first employee in the office. When I hired her, I told her, I was like, hey. I was even nervous about hiring her because I didn't even know what to do with an employee.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, I'm hiring you. I just need help. I don't even know how this works. Just like, if you see where I need help, please just help me, because I've never done this before. I don't even know how to delegate. You know what I mean? So, and if you told me that I was going to be in a position where I had to hire people before I quit my job, I would have never quit my job.
Wow.
Yeah, because I would have been afraid of having to manage people. You know what I'm saying?
So you didn't know that you were gonna have to lead these people to.
No, like, I mean, if you told me like today I would have 50 employees with different emotions and different attitudes, I would have been like, you know what? Let me just stick to my job. It's a lot easier. But when you got 50 employees, and then 500 different clients that are basically, you work for them.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes a little interesting every
So with your staffing company, what do you all specialize in?
Mostly what we started in the beginning, staffing was just mostly healthcare. So we'll staff like nurses at hospitals, nursing homes, and then, like CNAs at, or medical assistants or front desk receptionists, things like that. We still, 80% of our business is still that. But we're diving into a little bit more admin and IT nowadays.
Okay.
And we just introduced this new form of staffing called subscription staffing, where you can get a staff as low as $99 a month.
Look at that.
Look at that. Something different.
Now, with that being said, let's move on to Perfect Office
Perfect
Solutions.
Office, my baby.
You see how the first one isn't his baby.
Okay. Perfect Staffing is my main chick. Perfect Office is the side chick. That's about to be the. I'm just kidding.
Well, successfully, you have put up 8 locations.
8 locations, yes.
8 locations.
Yes.
And I think that when we sat down, you told me that your first location was Beltsville.
Yes. First location was Beltsville. And the way Perfect Office kind of came about is with the first company, I was renting an office space in something similar, like a co-working type of space. And my landlord at the time, he had like 20 offices, but he didn't have it all occupied.
Gotcha.
He had about like maybe 3 or 4 people there. So I asked him, I was like, hey, this is such a good deal for me. Don't you think other entrepreneurs will like this type of situation? He was like, well, I don't know. We've had this for 2.5 years. It's only 3 people in here. I said, how about this? Let me help you fill this space up.
Right.
And then he was like, sure. What do you want from me? I was like, well, I mean, if you could reduce my rent to $500, that would be great.
That's a start, right?
That's a start. So he was like, I don't know about that. And I was like, no, seriously, if I help you fill this office space, can you reduce my rent to $500? And he was like, you know what? How about this? For every month that you don't get a tenant here, I'm going to increase your rent $100. I said, deal.
You took that deal?
I took the deal.
That was completely backwards from what you offered him.
I love challenges, but because I knew I was going to be able to do that.
Right.
Because what the office space did for me, it started helping my business grow because, it was a community where I'm paying just $750 a month, but I had a kitchen, a conference room. I had access to other entrepreneurs that are within the space.
Right.
I just thought the value proposition was a lot more than what I was paying.
Gotcha.
So I took the deal. 6 months later, filled the space. And then I went to him, I was like, hey, this is such a great idea. Why don't you all have multiple buildings. Why don't we open up this at other locations? And that's when he was like, I mean, Chiko, sounds good, but I'm not in the business of chasing $750 rent around.
Wow.
I have companies that pay me $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in rent. And I don't have to do much.
So he was like up here at this.
Yeah,
okay.
So which makes sense. I was like, okay, that makes sense for you. But for me, I think I'm going to go ahead and go start this business.
Right.
And that's when I asked him if he had a building that was vacant. And he had something in Beltsville, and that's where we started.
And then Beltsville, a lot of people who are from the DMV area, Beltsville used to have Test College here.
Yes.
Within that area. And when that college closed down, that's when you pretty much
we were actually there while they were there.
Really?
So, yeah. So they were just at a different part of the building.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
They were like on the second floor.
Gotcha.
And then we were like on the first floor.
Okay.
So I mean, the simple fact that we're still alive in a big educational company, It's not a business anymore. It's pretty exciting.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to name all the locations. I think I got it down pat.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay.
There's Beltsville,
Okay.
Laurel,
Yes.
Riverdale.
Yes.
There's actually 2 locations in Riverdale, but I think the second
Correct.
part of Riverdale may be Calverton.
Sure.
Okay. He said sure. Fort Washington,
Yes.
Columbia,
Yes.
Baltimore,
Yes.
Silver Spring.
That's right. girl.
That's all 8, right?
Oh, you know you forgot one because you counted Riverdale twice. You forgot one.
Well, I mean, they're close to each other.
There's another one. Lanham.
That wasn't on the website.
It's on the website.
I gotta go do my homework.
It's on the website. Yeah.
Okay, so 9. Can we count 9?
Well,
Riverdale.
8 different locations.
Okay.
9 buildings.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
So within those 9 buildings, well, Baltimore is still being renovated.
Yes, Baltimore's still being renovated. We should get it before the year ends.
Okay. God, really?
Yes.
I feel like you just.
I don't know.
I mean, again, I've been following him for a while. So, with the Baltimore location, I feel like you just really signed off on that location.
Yeah, we literally just yeah. Well, I mean we find the building and the negotiation process takes a while. But when I had announced it was about maybe like 2.5 months or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And then it'll be ready. It usually takes them about 3 months to kind of like build it. Baltimore is gonna cost us it's an $800,000 project.
So within that space, how many offices will be allocated?
Baltimore, when it's all said and done, I'm shooting for it's definitely going to be more than 50 offices. I'm shooting for 55 to 60.
Is this by the harbor or?
It's right on Security Boulevard.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep, by the Social Security Administration.
Yep.
So we always like to be a little bit away from the city, but close enough to the city where it makes sense.
Gotcha.
And all of our locations has free parking, 24-hour access, Wi-Fi, and it's beautiful inside. Actually, let me use my favorite word. It's sexy inside.
So if you all get a chance, please go to the Perfect Office Solutions website. There are images of the offices there.
Yep.
And he has a really nice concept where the furniture is actually pure white. The floors are like not an oak wood, but it's like a ash wood color and blue walls. I've been there, of course. Honestly, I've been there before I met you. I actually been to the Beltsville location for something different.
Sometimes people like, people meet me and they're like, oh, I've actually been to one of your buildings before. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
You're going to probably get that a lot, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have Perfect Office Solutions, but now we have Perfect Building Management. Is it building management or property management?
Perfect Property.
Perfect Property.
Yep.
There we go.
So
okay.
Perfect Property is just it's a management company. It's 2 different things that we do currently. So it's a property management company for folks that have investment properties, but they don't necessarily have the time to deal with it or even want to deal with tenants. So we take over all that for them for $99 a month.
So is this residential or commercial?
Residential right now.
Okay.
And then on the other arm of Perfect Properties, we are an investment company. So we're buying residential properties. So we just picked up 4 properties this year. I'm looking to pick up 1 more before the year ends. But if I pick up 1 more, if I'm able to pick up 1 more before the year ends, that'll be about $500,000 spent on just picking up properties this year. And next year we want to double that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what is your drive? What is your motivation behind like getting up every morning and just going to work, getting things done, making sure everything that you set as your goal is done completely?
I mean, the opportunity of just life itself, you know what I mean? If I wake up, just the fact that I wake up, right? And I have the energy in me. Today I've been going for 20 hours, 20 plus hours.
See,
I still got a lot of energy in me, right?
You got more than I do right now. I got speed bumps in my road right now.
Just for me, the opportunity to be great.
Right.
And I'm always trying to test what that is for me.
Okay.
I'm always chasing greatness. So regardless of what I did yesterday, I want to do better for myself today. I want to learn more. I want to do more. I want to give more. I want to be able to be more productive.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like in life, it's all about problem solving, finding different problems that you can solve and people pay you for it.
That's true.
That's what a business is all about.
That is very true.
Right. So it's fine, because most people will sit around and complain about something, but some people will complain. Some people will listen to that complaint and then solve it. That's how people get rich.
Have you ever had an issue with one of your entrepreneurs within the office?
Of course. They're
Really?
people.
Yeah, you're right about
People
that.
come with issues.
That's true.
People come with issues all the time.
What was your biggest challenge and how did you solve it?
I mean, we have challenges all the time. I'm trying to think of one, but every day there's a challenge.
Right.
It's just like, and you have to solve it. Let's say, for example, let's say, I feel like, I'm trying to give an example, but at the same time, I'm just like, this doesn't happen all the time. But let's say, you'll have a tenant that doesn't pay their rent, but still at the same time utilizes the service. And at that point, you have to, take different measures just to cut off their services,
Right.
restrict them.
Right.
And then sometimes it goes to legal, and I got a bomb lawyer that Monica, shout out Monica. Yeah. So, So I mean, stuff like that happens, but it's just,
Right.
it's just part of it. And I try not to let the negatives affect me. Like,
Apparently.
yeah, because negatives will come. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, even
absolutely.
today, one of my staff came in today, before I was about to leave to my Baltimore construction meeting, and she was like, hey, did you read the email? I was like, what do you mean? She was like, oh, the email. I'm resigning today. I was like, oh, interesting. I opened up the email and I saw it. And then,
Like literally today.
Yeah, literally
Wow.
today. And she's a manager. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So, you can't let something like that affect your day. You just got to
Right.
know that things like this, in business, you got to always expect stuff
Absolutely.
to happen.
Absolutely.
So things like this will happen, but it shouldn't affect your day. You should already have stuff in the works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, boom, she did her thing. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I got my thing on the back. I'm not, in the next couple of days, we'll be having a replacement. So that's not a
There
problem.
you go. See, if y'all need a job, talk
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah. Oh, since we're on social media, if you know marketing and social media, holla at Noah.
So you said that Perfect Office Solutions is your baby. Do you feel like you pay that more attention than Perfect Staffing and Perfect Properties?
I feel like right now I do. I do give it a lot more attention. But I always, with my businesses, I try to always find a way that they're interconnected, where even if I paid more attention to one, the other still grows.
Gotcha.
Right. So let's say, for example, with Perfect Office, as we're growing these locations, Perfect Office has a contract with Perfect Staffing, where all the staff of Perfect Office is provided by Perfect Staffing.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
even if I never paid Perfect Staffing attention, I just grew Perfect Office, automatically.
They're providing the staffing.
Exactly.
For Perfect.
So automatically it's going to grow.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And then as Perfect Property, as we develop that, Perfect Property is going to get to a point where with Perfect Property, we're going to start buying the buildings that we're in. And Perfect Office will be renting from Perfect Property.
There you go.
And then eventually, Perfect Property will get to a point where, we start buying apartment complexes and eventually maybe develop one and call it Perfect Living. Why not?
There you go. Now, my question is, I
Yes.
noticed that all of your locations are currently in Maryland.
Yes.
Is there any works of moving to the DC location and the Virginia location? Because I know with DC, it's a lot of city.
Right.
It's a lot of city.
Right.
But DC is very small too.
Right.
And then Virginia, there's part of like Northern Virginia that can grow as well.
Yep.
So is any future plans for those locations?
Tiara, we will be everywhere. We're trying to be like Jesus. Omnipresent. You know what I'm saying? So no, yes, but there is talks right now.
Okay.
There's actually a location that we've already identified in Alexandria.
Okay.
So the way it works, you identify a location, then you go back and forth with the landlord in terms
Of course.
of, the deal.
Yeah.
And it's an obligation for them
Okay.
to want me just as I want them.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a relationship.
Right.
You can't just walk up to a girl and be like, hey, I'm feeling you, and that's it. No. She got to be feeling you too.
Yeah,
You
it
know
has
what I'm
to be
saying?
a perfect trade.
Exactly. So
Perfect
it's
trade.
like,
you know you can do perfect dating.
Hey. Yep. So right now we have 2 buildings that we're talking to, 2 owners that we're talking to in Alexandria.
Okay.
So Alexandria will be probably our first Virginia location, and then we have some other cities that we're looking at in Maryland. But we're gonna work our way down and up.
Okay.
So as we're going up in Baltimore, we're gonna start to
Philly, well,
Exactly.
Pennsylvania,
Exactly.
New York.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but the goal is everywhere.
Good. I would love to see that because I noticed like WeWork is kind of everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
Like I've been to New York, I've seen WeWork offices. I've been to Houston, I've seen WeWork offices. Vegas, I've seen WeWork
Yep.
offices.
WeWork
So
does a great job, and another thing too, WeWork has a lot of funding.
yeah, but they're
Right.
like
A lot of funding.
they're expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive. They have a lot of funding. They're at one point they were valued at $47 billion.
What?
But then again, too, I mean, they haven't been growing very healthily, which led to their CEO being fired. Actually, the guy who founded the company getting fired, and the valuation of the company, all that stuff.
Right.
But for us right now, we haven't borrowed any money.
See?
So this has just been like bootstrap, which is a lot harder to grow, a little bit slower, but it's smarter. In the long run. So
okay.
But
I mean,
yeah.
but it makes sense because that means that you don't have to owe nobody later.
No. So if I want to act stupid on social media, I can. You know what I mean? Without anybody telling me what to do. But I like the freedom. I mean, I became an entrepreneur for the freedom, not to be answering to somebody else. But yeah, so that's the way we want to grow. We want to grow smart, but at the same time, we're doing something that nobody else is doing. We're making it affordable.
Absolutely. It is very affordable.
And then with making it affordable, there's not a lot of profit margin there.
That's true.
So it kind of slows the growth, but overall, we're doing it for the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because for me, entrepreneurs are my hero. I've never had when I was growing up, I wasn't like, oh, Superman or Batman. I was just I really admired entrepreneurs.
People who own their own business.
Exactly. People who own their own business. People who are out there solving problems.
Right.
So to me, the more of these locations that I open, the more I can be a hero, right? Or I can service my heroes. You know what I mean? So
Gotcha.
That's the way I look at it.
So we're going to wrap this up real quick.
Yep.
Just give me 3 things that you can tell people out there who are willing to get into the entrepreneur business, or maybe scared, or maybe at a standstill, or maybe really trying to find their niche onto what they want to do.
Right.
So what can you tell them?
Those 3 things is start. Just start. I mean, I think
this is what you told me on Friday.
Exactly. Start. Because I think as individuals, and I did this to myself, we overcomplicate things, right?
Yeah.
We try to wait to the perfect moment, or we get all that, the perfect moment that we think we have all the knowledge. I call it knowledge constipation. You know what I'm saying? Because you acquire so much knowledge, but you're not using it.
Right.
It's like eating a whole bunch of food, but you
can't get it out.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way. We just got to start, because in the process of doing, right, is when you become successful. You can't be successful thinking about doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to do it. Right. And I always tell entrepreneurs too, and there's 2 different type of, there's 2 different type of people you don't want to follow. You don't want to follow somebody who's about to do, and you don't want to follow somebody who's already done. You want to be following someone who's doing it. Because
that's actually really good.
Yeah, because someone who's about to do will never do.
Right.
They don't have faith.
Right.
Okay? Someone who's already done it, right, only has knowledge and experience.
Right.
Right? But someone who's in the doing, you can learn a lot from.
That is true.
Right.
That is very true.
So,
now, would you like to give everybody your social media handles and your websites?
Yeah, so social media wise, you can find me on Instagram as Chiko, the Dream Chaser. That's Chiko with the K-O, the Dream Chaser. And then once you find me there, you'll find everything else.
Yep. Perfect office, perfect staffing,
and
perfect properties.
Yeah. So if you need staffing, we can help you with that. That starts at $99 a month. If you need Property management, that starts at $99 a month. We can help you with that. And if you need a professional, affordable office space, starting at $99 a month. I'm just keeping it simple for you.
That is simple. That is very simple. And so you can check out the fashionvictuals.com website. There are 2 websites on there for perfect office and perfect staffing as well.
Yep. So, I mean, if you could buy some Yeezys, come on.
I can't afford no Yeezys. I can't.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you for having me.
No problem. And when we get back, we're going to go into my rant because I know, Brian, you know. Right here at Fashion Victuals Radio. Welcome back to Fashion Victuals Radio right here on RipRadioNetwork.com. I still have Mr. Chiko, the Dream Chaser, right next to me.
That's right.
Now, we just actually said off air. Now we can say it on air. The events you have coming up.
Oh, yeah. So we have a entrepreneurship pitch competition coming up this Friday. And we're going to be giving up 4 different prizes.
Okay.
Right? Totaling over $3,000.
Okay.
And up to close to a year of free rent to entrepreneurs. So, hey.
You ain't say that.
I started my business with $1,000 and turned it into a $5 million company. So if we're giving away $3,000, you should be able to turn that into $15 million of business activity.
See what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So this Friday at our Riverdale location, if you have not RSVP, it's free. Go ahead and RSVP.
Well, now I got an RSVP.
Yes, you got to come on out. Come on out.
And I have a budget. I mean, business solution to put in the plate.
Well, I mean, if you want to pitch, it's kind of too late to pitch. We already have 15 entrepreneurs that will be pitching their business. So come out and support.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have drinks. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have networking opportunities for folks.
I will definitely be there for support.
Awesome.
Absolutely. All right, now I can get into my rant.
Yes.
Okay, before we get into the rant, Brian, this is brought to us by.
Oh, brought to you by. I forgot. This is new to us.
Brian's like, I'm enjoying this show.
I know, right?
This rant. This rant is brought to you by Jazz Bossy Skincare.
Let's do it.
Yes.
All righty. And again, the information will be posted on our website later this evening. So if you definitely want to look into Jazzy Bossy Skincare, please do. She is phenomenal. She makes her own shea butters, essential oils, and everything is 100% vegan. So that's always a plus as well. So please definitely check it out. All right.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay.
Because I always have a rebuttal for everything that you pitch to me.
Okay, of course. Well, again, earlier you were talking about a little bit about relationships and how to deal with that and stuff like that. But
MMA, that's why.
Yes,
Make men masculine again.
Okay. Well,
please do.
Some women don't like masculine men. But
What's wrong with them?
I don't know.
Oh, well, this may be the reason why. So I was, so most of the, when I do my Fashion Victual News, searching, I see whatever I find. So and this one popped up, but I felt like this would be good for our editorial shade.
Okay.
So I found out on Fox 5 in Atlanta.
Okay.
Said that they posted out that marriages rates in the United States have been steadily have been declining since 1960.
I knew that.
True.
I mean,
when the share of adults who were married peaked at 72%, with the most dramatic decrease beginning in the 1990s. According to the census data, which was analyzed by the Pew Research Center in September of 2017, but a new study published by the Journal of Marriage and Family suggests that it may be due to the shortage of economically attractive partners. Okay.
The shortage of?
Huh?
Is it the shortage of?
The shortage of.
Okay.
Equally attracted partners?
Yes. Here, let me explain. Now, this doctor.
That's a new one to me.
Yes, it's a new one. This doctor, Dr. Daniel Litcher, PhD. He's from Cornell. He stated this.
Oh, boy.
Most American women hope to marry, but current shortage of marriageable men, men with a stable job and a good income, make this increasingly difficult, especially in the current gig economy of unstable, low-paying service jobs. Marriage is still based on love, but is fundamentally an economic transaction. Many young men today have little to bring to the marriage bargain, ending especially as young women's educational levels on average now exceeds their male suitors. So pretty much, if you broke, I ain't dealing with you. That's what I'm hearing. No matter how masculine you may be bringing, but it seems like, hey, if you ain't got a job, you ain't being with me.
Not even a job, the right job.
Yes, the right job. That's the sad part. Yes.
I mean, there's I feel like there's truth to that because think about it. Nowadays, like women are like back then, most women weren't. I'm not gonna say most women, but there was a lot of women not working because of the type of jobs that were available, and most men working and their wives not working. So most of the time, females will be encouraged or motivated to be in a marriage situation for protection and all the other stuff, the masculinity thing that you were talking about.
Make men masculine.
Got it.
Again.
But nowadays, females, I feel like, because there's more job opportunities, there's opportunities for women at the workplace, there's a lot more options. Women have a lot more options. And men have become, I don't know.
I view it as this. I view it as I still believe that majority of women. This is why I'm saying majority.
Okay.
I really believe they still feel like they want that support. They want that financial support.
But women do.
But the thing is, it's like even if they feel that they make the most money,
right.
Even though they feel that they can get whatever they want on their own,
right.
But somehow in the long run, they still want the man to bring home the big bacon.
I think so. I think for most women, it's like that. Most women, even if they make $100,000, they want their men to make a little bit more than $100,000, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Okay.
Because even if a woman can afford a date, she don't want to pay for the date.
Hell no.
Even though you asked, even though you the one who suggested this three-star Michelin star restaurant.
Pause, Brian.
Look, I have a rule. Let me tell you all my rule.
What is your rule?
I'm about to get controversial. So my thing is this. I've never actually done this, but I mean, in my mind, I've done it. I'm like, whoever that asks the person out on a date should pay.
Agreed to a degree.
Okay, explain.
So I do believe, like, if a woman offers to take you out or whatever,
right.
Yeah, she should pay. But if you're trying to court a woman or you're trying to get to know a woman as a man, because I mean, like, that's kind of like the traditional way of doing things, you know what I'm saying? Then the man should pay. Right?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of times women bring up this traditional thing when it works in their favor.
Bingo.
But when it doesn't work in their favor, I mean, it's also traditional for a woman to get in the kitchen and cook. You know what I'm saying? But some women will be like, what you think this is? We ain't living in the 1940s.
But say, that's why I
you know what I'm saying? So the thing is,
I cook.
We can't
that's
do
a different
the whole
story.
Traditional thing when it's in your favor, but then, be
okay, so I'm not
in the present when
I get it.
Not,
Here's the thing. I think not every woman, but some type of a home, how can I say this? The women have to have that want to actually take care of home.
But they don't have to, though.
And
some women might not be interested
in this day and time. No, it's like, a man accepts what it is, and it's like, but that means that you fail in a certain way because you're not getting what you want either as a satisfaction. Like, again,
right? But
I have issues with the chivalry thing.
But I think it depends on the man. So
it does depend on the man.
If a man wants a woman that's homely, or whatever you call it. Homely, then that man should seek a woman that's homely.
But she may have the qualities of being a woman who can take care of home. Because I don't want to call every woman homely. Because honestly, it's like, let's be real. Some women out here walking around, they look like they just stepped out of bed. And that's homely for me.
Shade.
All the way. So my thing is, there's a woman that can actually be independent, go to work, make the money, and still come home and take care of home. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like, my thing is, a man can provide a house, but a woman can make it a home.
I mean, all those are just sayings.
But yeah,
I mean, but it's true though, right?
Well,
it's true.
It can be true to a point, because here's the thing.
To what point?
The point where what the guy really wants and what he's benefiting. I can understand where this doctor was stating the fact is like, if the guy is providing up to a limit, meaning is like, you know, okay, he has to expand on, if if he's coming in not financially strapped than his woman partner, then I feel like, okay, he has to add.
Well, how far financially strapped is he not?
I mean, it really doesn't depend, because mind you, I mean, let's be honest. And mind you, I'll take an example from a movie, Think Like a Man. If you remember Taraji P. Henson's character, like in the, okay, they were completely opposite.
Right.
So, but still, it's the simple fact is like, okay, he can bring something else. He can cook. She don't have to eat out anymore. So that way she can save money.
Okay.
At least he can provide, at least he can, if they have kids, at least if he's going to be home more than she is, at least he can help maintain the house a little bit more, take care of the kids more. But most, here's the only thing, talking about masculine, the masculine men, they feel it's like, well, even though I'm not financially strapped like that, they'll say this like, but you still need to do this, and this.
I feel like you're not defining make men masculine again, because
it depends on what
it's a provider, and at the end of the day, whatever needs to be done in that household, he is providing.
Which is what?
The thing is,
it doesn't always have to financially. I mean, it has to be financial providing.
But for a woman, it's the main thing, though.
I feel like
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I feel like a relationship. This is what people need to do. Mm-hmm. I'm about to get controversial again. A relationship is a business. It's a transaction.
True.
Facts. That's facts.
And both parties need to come to the table with identifying exactly what they want and need out of the relationship. And if the person can't meet that relationship, if the person can't meet that demand or what the other person wants, then they shouldn't be in a relationship.
I agree.
Now, watch this. Now, if I come to the table and I tell, let's say, okay, I'm trying to court you or date you or whatever. I don't even know that stuff. I don't even understand it. But, and I say, okay, this is what I need from the relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And you say, right, that you can provide what I need in the relationship. But I don't think you can. I think there needs to be a security deposit.
And what would be the security deposit, though?
I need to determine that.
Need to get that.
Of course.
Based on your level, my level of trust
That's
for you.
what 90-day probations are about.
No, watch this. And if you don't meet my conditions, I get to keep your security deposit.
But so what would be the security deposit?
So let's say I look So let's say I look at you.
The intimate level.
I'm like, okay, you know what? She seems trustworthy. Let's say my security deposit, and a security deposit doesn't have to be monetary, but let me just say my security deposit is like for a relationship of, it's $5,000, right?
Okay.
Let's just say, right? And then we get into a quote unquote relationship, and I see that you're slipping on the stuff that you said you were going to be doing for me.
Were they doing it at the beginning?
At that point, I'm going to have to put in my 30-day notice.
But my thing is, were they doing it at the beginning? That's all I want to know. Were they doing it at the beginning?
It doesn't matter the beginning or not. You promised me you're going to be, you promised me a back rub every night.
Every night, though?
I mean, but that's what you promised me, though.
2 to 3 days out the week?
I mean, that's fine if that's what you told me.
But there has to be, right. There has to be some renegotiation at the table when this is finalized.
And then we sit down and renegotiate. We sign a new lease.
Okay, that makes sense though. Like you said, it's a business.
This like a business.
But it is a business.
It is.
Because at the end of the day, when somebody is actually courting someone else, the dating world, when you get involved in that relationship and it gets serious, then you have to kind of sit down and like, okay, well, if we're going to live together,
exactly.
What do your finances look like? What do my finances look like? Put it all on the table. Put it all on paper.
And where are we going to live? Are we going to live?
Absolutely.
In the hood? Are we going to live? You know what I'm saying? At a penthouse. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It depends. Like
but if you're talking about, let's say, living arrangements, I feel like nowadays a lot of people are basing it off of where their job is, how close it is, and how instead of being because especially in this area, they don't want to be driving extra 2-3 hours
honestly,
dealing with traffic.
I disagree because I work way out in West Bubble, Montgomery County,
Right.
and I live in PG County.
Okay. Here's again.
My money, that's what it counts. My
Right.
money
That's right.
counts.
How much money you
But,
make?
That's what I'm saying.
again, now there's a difference because between PG and Montgomery County, it's not that far. But what I'm saying is there are people who live in, let's go further, Frederick, Maryland, and having to drive up into Montgomery
DC,
County.
right.
That's far. That's where a lot of people
I
complain.
know people who do that now.
They do that, and they have to get up in the 3 o'clock in the morning
The money
just to get
the money must
where the
be
money
good.
is.
Yeah.
But like I said, they would rather live, if it was economically able to live in areas where they work at a lot closer. So if their man is not financially able to do that, sadly, I feel like as masculine, that man could be,
Right.
that woman was like, hey, we need to do, either you need to step it up financially or I'm gone.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, both parties need to be on the same page.
Right.
Because both
I
parties
agree.
can start on the same page and a couple of months later be off the page. And at that
It's
point, they
called
need to end.
90-day probation.
Even at the 90-day probation, somebody can pass that.
90-day probation
and then after
makes
a year,
sense.
they can change. People go stupid all the time. So
You're right.
and
So-
it's fine if you cut
so
somebody
if-
off after a year of being with them if it doesn't match anymore. You know what I'm
So
saying?
here's the thing. This is how I feel.
And plus,
Go ahead.
oh gosh, I feel like I'm just saying a lot right now.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That interview started something.
And for me too, I feel like most relationships, right, are are acquisitions, right, instead of mergers.
Okay. So the thing is, this is what I can tell people as far as when it comes to stuff like that, financial. You have to know what you're getting yourself involved in up front.
Correct.
I mean, at the day and age where we are in the dating field, especially after a certain level of age and your stature, you have to know what you're getting involved with.
How you gonna know?
upfront.
You gonna pull this?
Shit, you gonna
pay
ask
stub?
questions? No, you gonna ask. What do you do for a living?
I mean,
Like,
that's-
let's be clear. Glassdoor, Indeed.
That is the start of
LinkedIn.
trouble. That is start
I'm
of
just
trouble.
saying.
That is, you
All I
know
need-
that. That
all
is the start
I
of
need
trouble.
is a title. All I need is a title.
But the title,
all
won't
you-
be-
then-
the
then-
title won't be able to tell you much.
Right.
But Glassdoor gives me an average salary base per state as to how much you make doing this job. How long?
Look,
And then
so
you have
some-
to say, how long you been doing this? How long you been doing it? Oh, I've been doing this 10, 15 years. Oh, okay. So you been, all right.
Someone could say that they're a maintenance engineer. That could mean a lot of different things.
It could be, but where? Like, where do you, what location? Are you maintenance engineer at a university? Are you maintenance engineer at an organization,
Right,
of the
right.
government? Where?
That's true.
So, well, let's wrap this up. Thank you, Chiko, the Dream Chaser. I'm so glad you were able to come in here
Thank you
today.
for
I
having
hope
me.
you enjoyed yourself. I'm glad you were able to stay
I
with
did
me.
my 22nd hour.
Get some sleep.
I will.
Everybody, tune in next week. We're going to have Mike Powell on here. He is the gold, not gold, but gold digger. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday right here on Fashion Victuals Radio. Peace.
Peace.